Okay, so yesterday we have studied about Stokes law and the terminal velocity. Stokes law states that when a small spherical body moves in a viscous medium, then at a particular stage the net force on it is equal to 0. Okay, that is an opposite force acts on it. Stokes law is an opposite force acts on it, and this opposite force is equal to 6 pi theta r into v. Okay, now when it is falling down, when it is moving in a viscous medium, the spherical block at a particular stage, the net force is 0. Then it will start moving with a constant velocity, which is called as the terminal velocity. We have derived the expression for the terminal velocity. Okay, write a question. Write a question. Draw a graph of velocity versus time. Of velocity versus time for a raindrop falling in air. For a raindrop falling in air. Okay, VT graph for a raindrop which is falling in the viscous medium. What is the viscous medium over here? Air. Okay, so initially, as acceleration due to gravity is acting on it, so its velocity keeps on increasing. So the graph will be a straight line. We know that the VT graph for uniformly accelerated motion in a straight line having some slope. So this is the VT graph for initially when it is falling under gravity. But at a particular stage, its velocity will become constant. This maximum constant velocity, we term it as terminal velocity. So initially its velocity increases, but at a particular stage, that is after some time, the velocity gets saturated or the velocity becomes constant, and such a velocity we call it as the terminal velocity. So this will be the shape of the graph. Okay, so you can draw this shape. Next is the type of flow of liquid. Types of flow of a liquid. Okay, first we'll discuss streamline flow. Streamline flow of a liquid. Okay, now what is streamline flow? If the velocity of the liquid is less than a particular velocity, that particular velocity is called as the critical velocity. We'll discuss the critical velocity after this topic. Okay, so when the velocity of the liquid is less than the critical velocity, then every particle will have the same velocity at the same point as the preceding particle. So whatever particles have passed from that point, now the coming particles, the following particles of the liquid will also have the same velocity at that particular point. That is, they will move in the same direction with the constant speed, with the same speed. Okay, so such a velocity means such a flow of a liquid, we call it as the streamline flow. So the velocity should be less than the critical velocity, and the velocity of every particle will be the same as the preceding particle at a particular point. That is, it will follow the same path as the preceding particles went from that point. Okay, sometimes you must have seen if the water is flowing along this direction, so the following particles will also follow along the same direction. Okay, and such a flow we call it as the streamline flow. So write down types of flow of a liquid. The first one, streamline flow. Okay, write down types of flow of a liquid. The next is streamline flow. Write about it. Write down when the velocity of the liquid, when the velocity of the liquid is less than the critical velocity, is less than the critical velocity, then every particle follows the same path, follows the same path that is has the same velocity, that is has the same velocity as the preceding particles, as the preceding particles passing to a point, passing to a point. Yes, so every particle will have the same velocity. They will have the same velocity, same magnitude, same direction. Will have the same velocity, that is, will follow the same path as the preceding particles. The particles which already passed through that point will have the same velocity. The following particles will also have the same velocity at that particular point. Okay, and such a flow we call it as the streamline flow, and it is only possible when the velocity is less than the critical velocity. Okay, now this path, suppose the liquid is flowing along this path. So these lines, they are called as the streamlines. Okay, so the path along which the liquid is flowing, that is called as the streamline path. Okay, this path or these lines, these curved lines, we call it as the streamlines. And no two streamlines can ever intersect each other. That is, two streamlines can never intersect each other. Okay, they will never intersect. So write down. We won't study in detail. Write down the two lines about it. Write down the path of the flow of the liquid. The path of flow of the liquid is called as streamline. Is called as streamline. And two streamlines and two TW, and two streamlines can never intersect. And two streamlines can never intersect. Okay, now the second type of the flow of the liquid is turbulent flow. Now, turbulent flow is when the velocity of the liquid is greater than the critical velocity. Then it will follow some irregular path. That is, every particle will not have the same velocity as the preceding particles. Okay, the velocity will be different, so the flow will be irregular. Here it is flowing in some regular path. Okay, now the flow will be irregular, like in case of a river. The particles of the liquid which are coming, which are following, will have some other velocity as the preceding particle at a particular point. So such a flow we call it as the turbulent flow. Okay, so write down turbulent flow. Write down when the velocity of the liquid, is greater than critical velocity, then the flow is irregular. That is, every particle will not have the same velocity as the preceding particles. Will not have the same velocity as the preceding particles. Right, it's example. Flow of water in a river. Flow of water in a river. Okay, now the third type of flow is laminar flow. Laminar flow. Okay, laminar flow is the streamline flow only, but when it is passing through a tube, this streamline flow we call it as the laminar flow. Okay, so when the liquid is passing through a pipe or through a tube, then the streamline flow we call it as the laminar flow. So write down when the liquid flows through a tube, the streamline flow of the liquid, is called as laminar flow. Okay, now let the water is flowing through this pipe. Okay, this is the open end of the pipe. We are connected to the tap or anything. Okay, now here at the open end, the layer of the liquid which is in contact with the tube will be almost at rest. The next layer will have a negative velocity. Next to that, will have a negative velocity. The center layer will have a maximum velocity. So this will be the profile of the liquid, profile of the water coming out of the tube. Okay, and such a flow we call it as the laminar flow. Okay, so this flow we call it as laminar flow. Okay, so here we have studied the types of flow of a liquid, three types of flow. Streamline flow, the velocity should be less than the critical velocity, then it follows a regular path, that is every particle will follow the same path as the preceding particle at a particular flow. Turbulent flow, velocity is greater than the critical velocity, so the flow is irregular. Laminar, it is a streamline flow only through a tube or through a pipe. Okay, now we come to critical velocity. What is critical velocity, and we'll find its expression. So write the heading critical velocity. Write down it is the velocity of the liquid. It is the velocity of the liquid till or below it is the laminar flow, below it is the streamline flow, and above it is the turbulent flow. So it is the velocity of the liquid below which the flow is streamline and above which the flow is turbulent. So it is the velocity of the liquid below which the flow is streamline and above which the flow is turbulent. Okay, right down. It is found that the critical velocity depends on. It is found that the critical velocity. So you can write the subscript C. Okay, VC, that is. It is the critical velocity. It is found that the critical velocity depends on coefficient of viscosity, power of which is not known. Here we will find the expression of critical velocity by dimensional analysis. Okay, so eta raised to the power a. It also depends upon the density of the liquid, rho, again power is not known, raised to the power b, and it depends upon the diameter of the tube. Okay, when the flow is through a tube, then it is depending upon the diameter of the tube raised to the power c. Okay, so what is d over here? Diameter of the tube. Okay, eta is coefficient of viscosity, rho is the density of liquid. So, by the method of dimensions, here you have to find out the expression of critical velocity, which you are going to find out yourself. Okay, I give you 1 minute to find the expression of the critical velocity by dimensional analysis, by the method of dimension. Okay, substitute the dimension of each of this term, each of the physical quantity, and then try to find out A, B, and C, and put it in this formula. You will get the expression of critical velocity. Vc is the velocity, critical velocity of any velocity has the same dimension as that of velocity, which is L p raised to the power minus 1. Coefficient of viscosity, we have found out its expression on the previous term. Density, mass upon volume, diameter, its length only. Everyone determine. Okay. Now we will do the answer. Velocity m raised to the power 0, n raised to the power 1, p raised to the power minus. K is dimensionless constant. Coefficient of viscosity m l raised to the power minus 1, p raised to the power minus 1, raised to the power k. Density, mass upon volume, n l raised to the power minus 3 to the power of 3. Diameter is complete. Now collect the power of m l and p on the right hand side. L is raised to the power a plus b. L is raised to the power minus a minus b plus c, and p is raised to the power minus a. Whereas on the left hand side, n is raised to the power 0, n is raised to the power 1, p is raised to the power minus 1. Equate the powers of m, l and p. Okay, the power of m on the left hand side is 0. So a plus b is equal to 0. Three equations here is there. A plus b is equal to 0. Okay, the power of L is minus a minus 3b plus c is equal to 1, and minus a is equal to minus 1. So you get a is equal to 1. Substitute a is equal to 1 over here. So you get b is equal to minus 1. Substitute a and b and find out c in equation number 2.
minus 1.
Minus 3 into this will be plus 3. Plus c is equal to 1. So this will be 2. 1 minus 2. This will be minus. Everyone got this? ABC. Substitute it over here. You will get the expression for the critical velocity. So the critical velocity is given by some dimensionless constant eta raised to the power a, that is eta raised to the power minus 1, rho raised to the power b. B here is also equal to, a is equal to plus 1. So a into eta, rho raised to the power b, that is rho raised to the power minus 1 upon diameter is the expression for the critical velocity. Okay, so here we have found the expression for the critical velocity, knowing that the critical velocity depends on coefficient of viscosity, density of the liquid, and the diameter of the pipe or the diameter of the tube. Okay, so the expression for the critical velocity is k into eta upon rho into d. Okay, everyone note it down. The next heading is Reynolds number. Okay, it's purely a number which is determining the type of flow of a liquid. Okay, so it's a number which determines the type of flow of a liquid. This dimensionless constant which is coming, this we call it as the Reynolds number. Okay, so first write down, then we will write this expression. Write down Reynolds number, heading. Write down, it is a number. It is a number which determines the type of flow of the liquid. Which determines the type of flow of the liquid. which determines the time of flow of the liquid, and is given by this K is the Reynolds number. So Reynolds number in subscript we can write it as R Reynolds number is equal to critical velocity into rho into the diameter upon viscosity. Okay, this K here is the Reynolds number. In order to understand this, this K is known as the Reynolds number. So it is determining the flow of the type of flow of the liquid. So this is the expression for the Reynolds number. Okay, so it is unitless, dimensionless, because this was here dimensionless constant. So it is unitless, dimensionless. So write down, it has no unit, no dimensions. It has no unit, no dimensions. Okay, now how it determines? If NR, that is the Reynolds number, lies between 0 to 2000. If Reynolds number is between 0 to 2000, then the flow is streamline flow. If Reynolds number is between 0 to 2000, then the flow is streamline flow. Okay, so if its value is between 0 to 2000, then the flow is streamline. Okay, so this flow will be streamline flow. Okay, now if the Reynolds number is greater than 3000, then the flow is turbulent. How it determines? It's purely a number. So if its value is greater than 3000, then the flow is turbulent. So the value of Reynolds number, if it lies between 0 to 2000, then the flow is streamline. Greater than 3000, the flow is turbulent. Now between 2000 to 3000, the flow is unstable. Unstable means changing from streamline to turbulent or vice versa, or from turbulent to streamline. Okay, so the flow will be unstable. Okay, so then write down between 2000 to 3000. Between 2000 to 3000, the flow is unstable. Between 2000 to 3000, the flow is unstable. That is changing from streamline to turbulent or vice versa. That is changing from streamline to turbulent or vice versa. Okay, next we will study about the energy possessed by a flowing liquid. Okay, so any liquid which is in motion, it possesses three types of energies. The first one is the pressure energy. The second one is kinetic energy as it is in motion, and the third also it will possess potential energy due to its height above the surface of the earth. Okay, so it possesses these three types of energy. So write down energy of a liquid in motion. Write the heading. Energy of a liquid in motion. Write down a liquid in motion possesses three types of energies. A liquid in motion possesses three types of energies. First one, pressure energy. First one is kinetic energy, and the third one is potential energy. possesses these three types of energies. Pressure energy, we know that the liquid flows from high pressure to the low pressure. So it means there is some pressure energy difference, some pressure difference between the 2 points. Okay, kinetic energy due to the motion of the liquid. Potential energy due to its height above the surface of the earth, due to its position. Some potential energy will be possessed. So we'll discuss one by one. Okay, the first one is pressure energy. Okay, write the first one, pressure energy. Write down a liquid flows from high pressure to low pressure. A liquid flows from high pressure to low pressure. And it is measured as the work done in pushing the liquid without giving any acceleration. Okay, that is without changing its velocity. Okay, next, a liquid, okay, without imparting any velocity. Velocity also should not be there. Without imparting any velocity, without giving any acceleration, changing to without without imparting any velocity. In the neck, a liquid is taken in a container which is having this side tube which is fitted with a frictionless piston, movable piston. Okay, now let this piston is pushed inwards through a small distance x. The piston is pushed inwards through a small distance s. So some amount of work has to be done. Okay, so this work done gives the pressure energy. Okay, so some work has to be done in pushing this liquid to a small distance x. So this work done, we'll call it as the pressure energy. This work done is the measure of the pressure energy. Work done is equal to force into displacement, forces, pressure into area. Okay, so area into distance, that will be some change in its volume. Okay, so we'll derive it tomorrow. Then we'll find out the expressions for the kinetic energy, also the potential energy. Okay, and the sum of all these three types of energies, we'll call it as the total energy. So also we'll find out the total energy. Okay, and the total energy per unit volume, per unit mass, we'll discuss it, which will give the total energy per unit volume or the per unit distance.